Juliana had always been an ambitious and determined woman. However, like many others around her, she felt the pressure of society when it came to motherhood. At 35 years old, with a promising career and a devoted husband, she thought she had everything she could want. But the desire to be a mother had always been in her heart, and it intensified with every passing birthday when society, her family, and even her friends began questioning why she hadn't yet had children. Over time, that desire turned into an obsession. She saw couples with children everywhere, and the thought of not being able to become a mother haunted her. But something was about to happen that would change her life forever. Do you want to know where this story goes? Before we continue, if you want to help our channel keep bringing amazing stories, give this video a like and subscribe. If you enjoy it, turn on notifications to know when new videos are released. Juliana began to notice that everyone around her was becoming increasingly curious about when she would have children. Her friends, in casual conversations, started asking her about her family plans. Her parents, especially her mother, made insinuating comments about how nice it would be for her to fill the void with a baby. Over time, the pressure grew, and the feeling of inadequacy became more intense. That's when the idea began to form in her mind. What she truly wanted was a baby, and if her body couldn't give her one, perhaps she could create the illusion that she was pregnant. She started with small details: a slightly swollen belly, some falsified medical exams, and a carefully rehearsed story to convince her husband, Tiago, that she was indeed expecting a child. At first, it seemed like a simple solution. She found a doctor who, for a high price, agreed to provide the falsified exams she so desperately needed. She bought maternity clothes, made sure to show a slight increase in weight, and even prepared the house with an empty baby room. Everything was perfect, or so it seemed. Tiago, initially skeptical, began to get excited about the idea of becoming a father, and this made Juliana feel relieved, as if she were finally achieving what she had always wanted. Over time, Juliana's anxiety began to grow. Her lie was becoming harder to maintain. She had to keep the ruse going for longer, as she had already told everyone about her pregnancy and even planned a baby shower. But the weight of the lie began to consume her peace of mind. Furthermore, Juliana knew that with each passing day, she was sinking deeper into a pit of lies, and it made her feel increasingly trapped. What Juliana didn't know was that her lie was about to be discovered. Strange things started happening. One day, when she returned home from work, Juliana found a mysterious letter on her doorstep. It had no sender, just one handwritten sentence: "You will pay for this lie." She ignored the letter, thinking it might just be a prank or an empty threat. But as more letters began to arrive, and the threats became more specific, Juliana realized she was trapped in a nightmare she never expected. At work, things also began to spiral out of control. Her colleagues, who had been happy for her about the pregnancy, started asking questions she couldn't answer. One of them, in particular, became suspicious. Marcos, one of her co-workers, began making strange comments about her gestation period and the lack of details in her stories. Casually, he mentioned that his brother, who worked as an ultrasound technician, could perform a scan for her if needed. Juliana felt completely exposed. She knew she couldn't allow anyone to investigate further, so she started lying even more, making excuses to avoid any kind of verification or examination. But the more she tried to maintain the ruse, the more the threats grew. And what had once seemed like an innocent lie to meet expectations now turned into an impending nightmare. The breaking point came when Juliana received an anonymous message telling her to meet in a secluded part of the city where all the truth would be revealed. The message was clear, and the signature at the end simply read, I know what you did." Terrified, Juliana went to the designated place, a deserted park, where she found Marcos, her co-worker. He was holding his phone and, upon seeing her, began filming. "You have a lot to explain, Juliana," he said with a cold smile. "I know you're not pregnant. I saw the fake exams." Fear gripped Juliana. The lie was about to be revealed to the world, and she didn't know what to do. Marcos, in an attempt to manipulate her, made her an offer. He would keep the secret, but Juliana would have to help destroy her husband's reputation and make him believe she was really pregnant. Juliana's moral dilemma was larger than she could have imagined. From there, suspense took over her life. Juliana found herself torn between the fear of being exposed and the pressure to be the perfect woman for others, to keep her ruse at any cost. She knew that if everything came to light, her life would turn into a public nightmare, but at the same time, she feared that her own family and Tiago would see her as a fraud. The story ends when Juliana is forced to face the truth in a hospital, where her lie is finally exposed. Marcos had exposed her, and the web of lies she had created unraveled. Tiago, devastated by the deceit, confronted her. He left her, and Juliana realized that, by trying to fill an unrealistic expectation, she had lost everything that truly mattered: trust, family, and, most importantly, her inner peace. YouTube description: Juliana faked a pregnancy to meet society's and her husband's expectations, but soon she found herself trapped in a web of lies and threats. Her life turned into a nightmare as the truth began to come to light. Discover how Juliana's deadly lie destroyed everything she had built. Want to know more about this story and many others we still have to share? Then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every day, a new story comes straight from our mysterious archive, filled with tales and accounts we've gathered from various sources. Cases with stories that will give you chills. Also, don't forget to share this video with that friend of yours who loves a good mystery.